Hey, man. We're reggaeing with this. I can dig it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good morning, everybody. There's two of us. I can dig it. I can dig it. A little reggae for you. Good morning, everybody. Mark Conte reporting. Good morning to you and yours. Wherever you are in this great world, in this great internet world, where we're all over the goddamn place. I report from New York, but it's global. We are global. We're global. We are blowing the roof off of fake news. As if there's nothing else to do. We got to fucking track down fake news reports about junkies taking over Manhattan. Now, there is some truth to that story. There is some truth to that story. There is some truth to that story because they were telling you all along that the violence, the crime rate in New York City has been tipping up a little bit in certain areas. But the areas that the fake news wants you to believe about New York becoming dangerous, for example, like, the bottom part of Times Square, is just simply false. Why? We got to ask yourself why. And why did Hannity, the New York Post yesterday puts out a piece on Junkies, comparing it to Needle Park. Needle fucking Park, like a shooting gallery, turning 2 square blocks into a shooting gallery. Now, I'm old enough to remember the times in New York City when there was actually shooting galleries on the street, where you would walk down a 5-block radius and there was nothing but drug users and drug dealers. And it was just as far as the eye can see. Everybody was selling something or buying something, and there were police sprinkled in making arrests, right? And they're generally in drug neighborhoods. There's generally not open use because that's frowned upon. That brings heat to the spot, right, or something like that, right? But around that perimeter, you see drug use. So what I'm saying is that what the New York Post painted as a fucking shooting gallery, and what Hannity late last night, about 10 p.m., released his clip with that guy that I walked right by. I didn't know that was the Fox's team on the street doing a report, but Hannity released his report about 10 p.m., echoing the same bullshit that the New York Post put out. So we're going to look at that. Also look at AntiTrust. There's a lot going on in Congress. It's probably better for a separate video, but I'm going to touch on it at the end of this, where Congress is apparently grilled yesterday for the big techs Facebook, Google, Amazon, and I think it was Twitter. I don't know who else. But they grilled. Oh shit! The Congress is they're going to work for you. They're working for you now, Congress. Right? They're working for you, right? So they're trying to debunk big business, big tech. Because why? Because they're a monopoly. They have an unfair advantage because they own so much and control so much. It's a good thing, right? Does it have any effect? Is our Congress, our elected officials, having any effect on the discourse? I believe the answer to that is, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you what the answer to that is later. But for right now, let's go right here. Mark's Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Thank you very much for joining me. Heart for you, Cinnamon in the house. Vinny D. Martini on the wrench. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Steve Zrovsky. Raymond Duncan. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Adam Calmy. Ann B was first. Ann B. What's up, Ann B? Sniff Matt Tip. Jim Gerard is here. Bebop, 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 bebop. Raymond Duncan. Hello, everybody. So let's dive right in. Kindly become a Patreon of this channel by hitting this one right over here. Right, I changed the title to my articles to Anti-LARP News. All news that's anti-LARP. LARP. Right? Fucking what Hannity's doing is a LARP. You take a fake story and you run with it. Right? And then you try to vilify people. Did the Post vilify anybody yesterday? They put a picture of a woman shooting drugs. Right, fucking innocent lady just sitting there doing her thing, right? You know, and labeled her a community destroyer. That's fake news. Did they actually see the picture? I don't know. That's. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see anybody shooting drugs out on the sheet. But that's what fake news is, or the idiot George Webb, who's no longer online. Right? For years, we had to deal with George Webb making up fake stories about people, about everybody, anybody who comes near. He just throws out 25 lies at people, and they're still out there. Still jerk-offs out there doing the same thing, right? And promoting LARP, right? Now, I take issue with the people that promote LARPing as something fun and interesting and something you should be part of too. Oh, come online and LARP. Become part of the live action role play. Smear your partner. Smear your friends. Become friends with people and then smear them. Oh, that's fun. That's good stuff. And then if that fails, sue them. Jerk-offs, right? So anti-LARP news, I'll be putting up more stuff. I've been just adding to this one right here, trying to get all the jerk-offs in one pile, right? The jerk-offs. So kindly become a tip, throw a few dollars in the tip jar through PayPal. Thank you very much to everybody who's doing it. I don't always have time to thank everybody personally, but I see it, and you're the reason why this thing continues. So take pride in becoming a Patreon and making a one-time contribution so that we can keep this thing going, man. This is a release, by the way. Anybody who thinks that I put a lot of effort into this, I really don't. I don't. This is not an effort to me. This is showing up on a daily basis and sticking to the truth, sticking to what you believe in. Some people, there are still some souls among us who believe in truth, in justice, in the American way, like Superman. Right? We believe in fairness and equality and because you know why? Because I'll tell you why. There are some people like that, but it's people will say that that's the road less traveled. That's the harder road. I disagree. When I'm truthful and when I'm honest, I'm vulgar and I'm loud and I will get in your face and I will not fucking back down whatsoever to anybody, you know, unless they got a gun. Essentially, right? So, but. And now I'm talking about myself. What I'm trying to say is that when you abide in truth, when you abide in honesty, the facts, what is true to you, it's effortless. It's not. It's like when you learn how to stretch the right way. It's not really stretching. It's releasing. Or as in any effort, music is not really an effort. Music is a release. And you have to wait for that release. When you force it, it's not music. It's bullshit. It's gibberish. Right? So anyway, so So Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. How we doing over there? How we doing? All right, people piling in now. So let's start the day with a video from Harkview Cinema. This is great, man. New York shitpost. Check this shit out.
They say Black Lives Matter. They say Black Lives Matter, right?
Pow! Oh man, just the right speed, just the right feel. Thank you very much. Harkview Cinema, knocking the skin off the ball with that one, man. New York Shitpost. Subscribe to Harkview Cinema right over here. We're there every Monday night. We're watching movies at Harkview Cinema. If you haven't heard, right? We go over there, fucking watch that shit. So just a couple of preliminary stories. Knock these out of the way. Thank you very much, Harkview Cinema, for that clip. I know you didn't do it for me. You do it for you. You do it for the greater populace because that shit is funny, man. That shit is funny, man. Big fat lady rolling around on fucking black paint and cops. That shit is hysterical. Judge agrees to postpone release of secret Ghislaine Maxwell files. Oh, the story that never ends. The continued story. Look at this judge, man. Whoa, shit. Look at that. She's a serious bitch right there. Look at this shit. Fucking. She is like, wow, I'm a judge. Look at the shoes. Look at the shoes this woman is wearing. You know how fucking painful it is to stick your toes in a point like that? I mean, I've tried. I've had like cowboy boots and pointy boots. I can't wear those shits, man. Why would you want to fucking point on your foot anyway? Unless you're gonna kick somebody in the, kick somebody in the asshole or something, right? Why would you want to point? Why would you need a point on your shoe? That doesn't make sense to me. Your toes are fucking round. The front of your foot is round. Why do you have? It says a lot about the person, right? Why is she? Just I don't know. There's something about her that why would you convince yourself that pointy shoes are better? Right? American flag. Ooh, she has. That's right. Jason Walsh calls that. She's got her feet on the flag. You don't put the flag on the fucking floor, bitch. You don't put the American flag on the floor. You can drape it over your couch. That's fine. But she's got her feet on the rug. That's wow. That's very observant. Thank you very much, man. That's a great observation. Is that the American flag is a rug? Yes, it is. That's what it looks like. So her name is Judge Loretta Preska. So just quickly, Manhattan federal judge on Wednesday evening agreed to postponing unsealed depositions related to the sex life of Ghislaine Maxwell until the alleged madam can file an appeal. So temporary stay on documents that are thus far unsealed relating to a separate case. Right, the order by Judge Perska will, for 2 business days, block the release of documents that relate to a deposition Maxwell gave as part of a now settled civil defamation lawsuit filed against her in 2015 by Jeffrey Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre. So this is like a kind of a bait and switch. They took Maxwell's information under the premise that she was helping the case. Right, and now they're taking that information because it's a separate civil case, and it was settled. That means that a lot of times that case, discussing that case and those files become blocked. They become sealed because there was a settlement reached. Right? In settlements, usually the case freezes. Access to the case freezes at that point. Right? I'm no fucking lawyer, but that's what usually happens. So now we're gonna see some new unsealed shit in a couple of days, right? What's it gonna tell us? Is it gonna tell us more about how Ghislaine Maxwell was the fucking pimp, was the lady pimp, was the groomer for Jeffrey Epstein. Things that we already know, things that are clear as clear as the pointy shoes on this lady's fucking feet. I don't know. We'll find out. So there'll be more. So this is the article that started it yesterday. Got under my skin. I saw it yesterday. It was actually out 2 days. Apparent junkies turned stretch of New York City Midtown into a shooting gallery. Now I went down there. If you watch my video from yesterday about 3:00. I went down there. I didn't go right down there. I was in Central Park. I was hanging out. And I was saying to myself, I'll go down and I'll survey the junkies later, right? But for right now, I'm just taking in the fucking, beautiful, beautiful Central Park, right? Sitting under the tree and drinking a cold beverage and meditating and stretching under the tree. Right? That's what I do sometimes when I go to the city. I'm not running around in the fucking 90-degree heat. I get on the bike and then I go, and I check it out. But before, so when I got down there, I was looking for junkies, right? I was ready to bring my helmet and my fucking golf club, right? And get down there, right? Because I'm no cunt. I'm not going to get roughed up by a bunch of junkies, right? So I went down there ready to brawl, right? And I didn't see any of it, right? It's a fucking fake story. A cluster of junkies has turned Broadway into a shooting gallery. And Hannity has now doubled down on it, as I said before. We'll watch Hannity's whole 5-minute video. A cluster of junkies has turned Broadway into a shooting gallery, injecting drugs unhampered in broad daylight and then shuffling around in a zonked-out stupor, seemingly oblivious to the midtown bustle around them. Total fucking bullshit. Total fucking lie. Turn Broadway into a shooting gallery. What's the definition of a shooting gallery? Let's find out. How does Google define a shooting gallery? Shooting gallery. Firearms. No. Shooting gallery for drugs. Shooting gallery for drugs. What does it mean? Risk factors for shooting gallery. What is a shooting gallery for drugs? Shooting galleries located where intravenous drug users can rent or borrow needles and syringes are a high-risk environment for HIV transmission. Okay? That's what the New York Post is calling it. That's what New York Post has called the place. A high-risk area where drug addicts borrow needles and syringes. A lot of times in shooting galleries very close by is where the drugs are sold. So a fucking stretch to call that a shooting gallery, right? It was not enough. The addicts are peppering the area with used syringes, turning individual planters on 40th Street and Broadway into a mini needle park. There's just no evidence of it. Although in my video I didn't show you me peeking into the planters, but I did. I walked by. I fucking looking into the planters. They're fine. They're fine. People throw garbage in the planters all the time. You're much sooner going to find a coffee cup or a beer mug or a beer can or a bottle or someone's fucking empty paper bag in there than you are going to find a needle. So if you want to track through the planters of Manhattan, you're going to find all kinds of garbage. Why's your head in the planter anyway? Get your fucking head out the planter. They've taken over the tables, blatantly using needles and shooting up heroin all day, said a local worker who wouldn't give their name. There's no police. You know how many police are right in that area? When you walk up even 2 blocks to 42nd and Broadway, massive police presence. There's a police station right on the corner. They wouldn't tolerate that shit. Right? And even if they did, what is the fucking crime? What is the crime of someone sitting on a public bench falling asleep? Because that's all I saw. I didn't see open drug use. And the needles, by the way, are illegal. So we debunked this yesterday, but there's more. There's so much more. I'll show you a bit of my walking the area. The Post spotted several of spent needles. All right, so this is the report that started it all. The accusations that here's a cop allegedly walking by drug activity, not doing anything about it. Right? What are they doing? Look at the picture. What are they doing? They're 2 fucking people sitting there filling up space, right? What you want to keep it. See, that's the thing about uppity scummity Manhattan is that oh, this is for us because we work here. This is our area, and take the junkies and the homeless people out of here. Delete them from the scene. They're bringing down our property value. They're making it dangerous. These motherfuckers, get rid of them. Right? That's the allegation here. It's just false, right? Now, and to clarify, has Manhattan, in particular, having an uptick in open drug use and drug sale on the streets? The answer to that is yes, but the area that they're talking about is incorrect. It's not true. So why? You got to ask yourself, why is the New York Post and why is Hannity, who interviews the President of the United States, an influential fucking guy, right? Hannity on Fox. Why are they promoting this idea, this political idea? See, I had said it may have been a real estate grab, and I'm still not sure it's not, but it is certainly now obvious when you listen to Hannity in his own words describe what's going on. It is a political grab from the right to paint the left under, for example, in New York, de Blasio and Cuomo as being soft on crime, letting the city turn to shit. Is there truth to that? Yeah, there is truth to that. But the truth is in the details, Hannity. Don't just make up shit, because there are people that are walking around and see your bullshit. Right? Why don't you get your ass? Why didn't your fucking crew, that giant black guy, why didn't he go over to 34th Street and see it? Right? Why? Because you don't have an interest in 34th Street. That's Penn Station. That's not where rich people are. But that's where the action is. Why? Still very suspicious. So there's that. So here's another one. New York Post not yielding. All right, we'll go more into this in a second. Right. So homeless druggies are making life a holy hell for New York City church. What? A desperate person on the balls of their ass tries to find sanctuary in a church, and you call it making a holy hell? What the fuck are you talking about? That's what the churches are for. The churches are supposed to be sanctuaries for the poor and the struggling and the down and out and the out on the balls of their ass and the emotionally challenged. That's what the church is for. And you're calling it turning it into a hellhole because a couple of junkies decide to sit on the steps because they're tired and maybe they're looking for God. They're sitting under the cross, and you're accusing them of why is the church door roped off? Look at this shit. Oh, look what we found on the floor. We found a couple of user-friendly syringes with the caps on so that nobody gets hurt. A Newport. Only blacks smoke Newport. And Puerto Ricans love fucking... White people don't smoke menthol, I'm told. But there it is. That's the usual trash on the street. Is it nice to see needles laying around? No, I wish people wouldn't throw their fucking needles on the ground. But I also wish they wouldn't throw their masks on the ground. What's more pollutant, a needle or a mask? They're both biohazards. They're both health hazards. They're both considered medical waste. A mask is medical waste, right? You're using it to fight off COVID-19. COVID-19, put your fucking mask on, right? And then you throw it on the floor. And what does that say? It says, I don't give a fuck. I'm safe. I'll throw it on the floor and let my COVID-19 spread around. It's the same thing. So when you see a mask next to a syringe, which one is more deadly? Which one is more risk to the people? I'd venture to say, well, since HIV, you can't really get infected unless it pokes you directly or... But the mask, oh my God, the mask, it's airborne, it's aerosolized, holy shit. Right? Think about it, right? Think about it. Where's the mask? You're telling me that you swept up in New York City and you didn't find 5 masks on the ground? There's fucking masks all over the place. Everywhere you look, there's a fucking mask. A struggling Manhattan church has been forced to block off the steps to its front door to keep homeless druggies from defiling the sacred place. What fucking defiling? Prayers alone weren't enough to protect the Trinity Presbyterian Church in Hell's Kitchen, that's in the 40s on the west side, from temporary residents of the Watson Hotel nearby. So a makeshift barricade built out of a clothes drying rack and twine now bars the entrance to the house of God. These people would come and crap all over the stairs. Well, that's another thing about New York, right? You fucking people shit on the street now because you closed all the bathrooms. Put some fucking porta sands up, right? You got garbage pails. Why don't you put up some porta potties? Why don't the city dig in and put 500 porta johns on the street? Right? Now, porta johns are a problem because people move into porta johns. They become like those become shooting galleries. People they lock the door from the inside and they go to sleep in there because it's off the street. People will literally sleep in a fucking porta john. But there has to be there are other ways too. For example, what comes to mind is Amsterdam that has. When you walk around Amsterdam, they have these they're kind of like a snail shell. The circle. Think of a circle, and it gets smaller as you get to the middle. It's a circular, and it gets smaller as you get to the middle. Amsterdam street porta potties. Let's see if we can find them. Amsterdam street porta potties. Amsterdam porta potties. Nah, that's not what I was. Bathroom, restrooms in Amsterdam. Going Dutch. I would like to show you a picture of it if I could find one, but I guess I can't. I guess I can't find one. Or maybe look at the images. Let's look at images. Images, and you'll see what I mean. There it is. Okay, so that's what you do, right? You see that thing right there? You see that all over Amsterdam, right? It's not a big freaking deal, right? You go in there, it's got a hole in the ground. No one can see your ass and your dick and your cunt and your pube, your public parts sticking out. But you walk in there and there's also no cleaning required. Oh, it's so fucking foul. You might see some shit and piss falling out of someone falling to the ground. But you could put these in New York and they're no-brainers, right? Just hose them. But no, New York City won't do something like that. Why? Why won't you let somebody relieve themselves? All right, here's another guy, right? So this is it. See? So there's a video. It's out in the street, and there they are. You see, there's a bunch of porta potties, right out in the street. So what? That's where they belong. And these are great because you don't need to. I guess this guy's gonna go take a shit. He wants to show us how he's gonna take a shit. Go take a shit, buddy. And get a stabilizer for your camera because it's very fucking junky. Trump. So there he is. All right. So there's the example. There's a couple of ladies. You think the ladies give a fuck? Why? What's the shame? The guy's relieving himself. He's a foot away from the lady taking a piss. Is he gonna zip? Is he gonna take a shit in there too? I guess he could take a shit in there. But what it is it funnels back into the sewer system, right? So I don't know why I'm talking about this, but that's the point right there, right? So why? How could you say that it's a big deal about? Oh, they're taking a shit on the steps. See, we're not in. We're working the problem. The working the solution. Working the solution, right? If you're afraid of people throwing, pissing and shitting on the steps, provide them something to shit and piss in, right? Right? Because a homeless person's not going to walk into a store and say, "Hey, can I use your bathroom?" They're going to say, "Get the fuck out of here," right? So anyway, another bullshit story by the New York Post claiming I'm not going to go there. I mean, this is all over the place. This is New York City. If you don't like it, why leave? So here I am yesterday. No, I'm trying to expose the Post.
No, I know this was.
So here's this guy. Remember?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? So So you're concerned about junkies in this neighborhood?
Yes.
Where are they?
They're all, look over there. They're all sleeping over there. Where are you from, though, before you put this out?
I'm on YouTube. Just independent guy, Marcus Conte.
Cool.
Could we have discovered, is this the guy that started the whole bullshit? Is this the guy who filed the initial complaint with the New York Post? And he's sitting there supervising? Is this the guy? Is this the guy, or is he some guy just jumping on the bandwagon? I didn't really question him because he kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know what his intention was, and I wasn't really ready to explore. I didn't explore it yet. I was about to explore it. But this is a very suspicious character, right? Why did this guy walk over to me and say, are you at the Post? First he said, are you at the Post? I said, no, I'm exposing the Post.
They're over there. They're all sleeping.
All right. Okay. Now, I had walked past I walked the block once back and forth, and I saw people, the usual. When there's empty chairs in the city, people will fill those empty chairs. All over the place, even in Central Park. There's homeless people laying around all over the place right now. It's 90 degrees. There's nowhere to go. There's plenty of seating. There's plenty of open space. There's no tourists. So they're filling up the void. They're filling in the power vacuum. Why are you so irate, you fat white guy? Hey, fat white guy, what are you, a racist? You don't like homeless blacks? What's your fucking problem, fat guy? The Post is sensationalized just a little bit. I mean, I'm from New York, and I was terrified to come over here, to be honest with you. And I was looking for, I was going to get robbed.
Environment to come to work.
Lord Rothschild says his intention is to find the nearest buffet. You win the thread on that one.
Work.
Okay.
I'll tell you that, but thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.
Just a little bit. I mean, I'm from New York, and I was terrified to come over here, to be honest with you. And I was looking for, I was going to get robbed.
Good environment to come to work.
Okay. It's not a good environment to come to work. That's his argument. That's legitimate. Who wants to step over junkies while you got to go to work? But if there is no work, is that the junkies' fault because the chairs are empty? Once regular people come in, most of the time it pushes out that element anyway, right? But there is no coming back. That's what we're trying to tell you, man. This fat guy's holding on. He's holding on to the past. He thinks he's not ready for the new normal. All right? Fatso's not ready for the new normal.
But thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right.
When will I see that on TV?
It'll be on YouTube. My name is Marcus Conte. And you know what, fat man? You don't have a say in what I use. You fucking come over and talk to me. That shit is documented, right? You don't have a say. And you think you have creative discretion over my video? Go fuck yourself, fat fuck. I hope he's watching. No, you're a good guy if you're watching. It's just I fundamentally disagree with you. Wow. And we're having fun with you. We're having fun at your expense. So somebody wanted to come over to me and tell me about the people nodding out. Oh, interesting. Right. Jason Walsh says, Lord Rothschild doubles down and says he's standing outside in danger. Yeah, right. If it's dangerous, why the fuck is he that's a great observation. Why is he sitting out there? Not just himself, but why is he sitting out there with his family? I spotted him over here, right? There he is, right? Oh, shit, look how dangerous. He's standing out there with his lovely wife and 2 children on the street, and he's afraid of the junkies. The junkies are taking over. Look how close Times Square is. You can see this is Times Square right here. This is the bottom part of Times Square, 42nd Street. All right, what a fucking liar, right? So there's more, right? So then there's the accidental discovery of fake news on the corner. I was talking to these fine people. Because right? The New York Post is saying to keep it honest. Let's look. Right. So this woman right here with the white shirt. She was just sitting there. Do you feel scared around here? Because I don't. All right there. Boom. These two are nodding out. All right. And I think this is the guy right here with the beard. Let's look at this guy for 1 second. He is is he the guy in the ad? Yeah, here he is. I think this is him right here. See this guy? See this guy with the blue shirt on? And where are we? Where are we? Yeah, see, that's him. He's still wearing the same blue shirt, so we discovered him. Come on. So look at this guy right here, identifying this guy. You see him? Is he an actor? People are saying, no, this is organic. These are just people hanging out. They're just hanging out on the fucking street. The bullshit is the bullshit is the press blowing this up as something that is so detrimental to New York, and then they want to blame the. So there's the guy New York Post recorded, right? And here I am walking by, and there he is sitting down. He is nodding out, okay? I don't know who the woman is. The woman might be the same woman, but all right. In fairness, there's two people strung out. Maybe this methadone clinic is close by, right? We got to be honest. This is what I saw. I didn't talk about it in the video, but this is what we saw.
You feel scared around here? Because I don't.
The guy's got a cane. How much fucking damage is he going to do? Right? Where's the open drug use? He's just sleeping. Why are you afraid of them? Why are you afraid of these people? They're sick. Right? They're sick. They're not going to rob you, right? And the other thing is, if there were so many junkies, New York Post and Hannity, if there were so many junkies on the street, what did they do? Take the day off? Did the junkies take the day off? Junkies don't take a day off. Right? If this was a shooting gallery full of drug users and exchanging needles, it's a bullshit story. Right? Right? I don't know if that's the same woman, but that's definitely the same guy. That's the guy in the picture, confirmed. Right? I mean, that's him. Right? There he is. Right? So we found him.
Post is trying to make everybody.
A methadone clinic, correct. Jason Walsh. Methadone clinic close by. That would explain the Newports and the right. Usually you don't see needles littering the ground around a methadone clinic because most heroin addicts you will use methadone to not use heroin unless they're shooting something else, right? Unless they're strung out on something else in addition to the methadone. So yeah, methadone clinics are notorious for having that element. People like hanging around because the methadone clinic's a block away. So
scared of the neighborhood. So I wonder why.
So I talked to these two fine people. There was no issue there, and then we find this, the fake news, right? So here's where it gets interesting, right? Now I had talked to these guys. I had seen them before I bumped into them here.
Shame on you.
I had an exchange with Fox News before I actually ran into them for this time, which is the second time. And in that, I said to them, hey, you guys here to investigate the fake New York Post article? And they were like, like the cameraman, not the giant black guy, right? So I had spoken with them.
For shame.
Well, let's see what the exchange is.
Have you guys been able to find any junkies and syringes in the Potters?
I'm sorry.
Oh, damn, there he is. That's Hannity's right-hand guy. I didn't know that. I fucking didn't know that. I didn't know Hannity had his guy on the street. I just thought I don't know who he is, right? Fake news is fake news, right? So he tells me I slide up on them one more time.
Shame. For shame. Have you guys been able to find any junkies and syringes in the Potters?
I'm sorry, man. We're with the press.
Oh, you with the press? Okay.
I'm with the press. Yeah. What press?
I'm scooping you.
So there they are, right? There's the whole team, right? Where's the mask? Where's now in the interview when he's talking to Hannity, he's got his mask on. Oh, it's so dangerous. And they put that shit out at 9:00 last night, right? Right. And this is 3:00 in the afternoon. This is 6 hours before. All right. And look at this cameraman. He's looking at me, scooping him. All right. Fuck you. What do I care? I don't give a fuck about you. All right. You know, the giant black guy. Lawrence Jones, right? The giant black guy's name is Lawrence Jones, right? So there's a little more, right?
I have not been able to. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid.
It is interesting, their reaction, because they know that I'm scooping them, right? So, but the point is that the point, people, is that I saw exactly what they saw, which was nothing. but they reported it a little differently, right? And I spoke to a lot of people. I spoke to the very charming black girl right here. She was amazing.
Hey, do you walk down here every day?
Well, I'm from Houston, so I just got here. I used to live here, but I do walk down here. I jog and I exercise every time.
The New York Post, they put out a
and you see fake news right behind us,
saying that this area was turning into rampant crime and junkies everywhere. And have you heard that? Do you see it? I don't see it.
I haven't seen it.
See, look at this jerk off. He's right behind me. Lance, whatever his name is. What's his name? Lance? Hey, Lance. Hey, Lance. Is that his name? Lance? Lance. I should have looked his name up, man. What's his fucking name, man? Somebody just said it. What's this guy's name? Lawrence, excuse me. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Lawrence.
At all. I've been down here for like the last 4 or 5 days.
What a bullshit story.
I've been here from the morning all day because I have
There's Lawrence. There is Lawrence. He's concerned. He's concerned that he's putting together a fake story. A fake Hannity fucking story. Totally busted. Totally busted. You fucking busted this guy. Look at this jack off. Look at that jack off.
Too far from here?
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they will put out
Look at
such
this guy, a team of jack offs. How much do you think these guys are getting paid right there? You got four idiots, 4 techs trailing the giant black guy. And how much are they getting paid? They're staying there all day. They're all on the payroll. They're all fucking
information like that.
It was on the front page.
Oh, that's terrible because there's cops down here all the time, and they have all the TV.
There's cops here all the time.
So we got that part, and so I walked through. So I was pretty thorough. I talked to some friendly guys. These are pedicab drivers. I know them. I don't know them, but I know the business they're in because I gave tours. I was a tour guide in Central Park for a little while, for a year or two. It was great fun. That's why I know Central Park so well. I know a lot of Manhattan well, but I know Central Park exceptionally well, especially the lower part. So I continued my tour. What else can I reveal? What else did we see? We saw one other incident over
maybe
here.
These guys are junkies.
No, they weren't the junkies.
That's
There's one more
pizza.
set of junkies.
Just a guy. Oh, there's a lady. Uh-oh. Someone taking a nap. Someone taking a nap.
That right there is just a homeless lady. She ran out of gas. She's tired. That's not a junkie. That is not a junkie. That is an older woman who's just fucking tired. It's 90 degrees out. She's got all her worldly belongings. These are not junkies. This is. She's got a cane. This is how we treat the homeless people. This is how people live on the street when you got nothing. It's shameful. It should hurt you. You shouldn't want to push them out of the fucking way, because she's sitting in front of this very luxurious building with a fine man, and inside the air conditioner, and this is where we do business. Get off my lawn, you piece of shit, you dirtbag! You can't take care of yourself. Get the fuck out of here. You're a junkie. It's just a homeless lady. That's all it is. That's all that. There's nothing to talk about there. So that's what I saw. That's what I saw. We now know what the New York Post has said about it. You know what I saw, and now let's listen to the giant black man, Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, the right hand of the father, working with Hannity, who's the right hand of Trump. Right? Powerful people echoing bullshit. Let's listen to Hannity.
Control and public view. It has become so bad that one 4-star hotel has been turned into a homeless shelter for drug addicts. And according to a report from the New York Post, the section in Midtown Manhattan, also happening in the Upper East Side.
So there he is. He echoes the New York Post. Echoes the New York Post by Julie Coleman and George Fitzgibbon. He echoes there he is. He's echoing that he's piling on fake bullshit on top of fake bullshit. That's piling on.
Prestigious Upper East Side. Now filled with addicts shooting up heroin in broad daylight and full public view. It's so bad that discarded needles are lining the streets, which brings us to tonight's Hannity special investigation. We sent our own 2020 correspondent, Lawrence Jones, to New York today to find out exactly what is going on, and what he found should shock the conscience. But remember, a preview of coming attractions if Biden's America became a reality in 97 days.
Boom! Right there is the tell. Right there is the tell. Hannity is campaigning for Trump because he thinks Trump is the better deal than Biden. He just said it. I didn't say it. Why is he bringing up elections when he's talking about drugs in the street? Let's listen again and make sure we heard it right.
Upcoming attractions if Biden's America became a reality in 97 days.
Oh, that's why. It's politics. It's politics. Go out into the city, smear the area as being a shooting gallery, right? And people shitting on the floor, right? And then say, oh, it's you better vote for Trump. You better vote for Trump. See the sickness, the for sale media. You see how it works? You see how it works? There's no truth in it. Right? Why is it so? Why am I able to go out, right, riding on my city bike, right, and just driving by, and I'm able to crack the whole story open with five high-paid idiots, and a Hannity who's making I don't know how many $1 million a year, funded by Fox, who's making millions of dollars a year. Why am I able to walk out onto the street nonchalantly and blow the whole fucking story up? Well, the New York Post. The New York Post got it wrong? Come on. The fucking New York Post knows New York probably as good as I do. And why did they fake it? Why did they fake it? We still don't know. But Hannity is starting to help us to understand, because he said, what if Biden got elected?
Here with more, Fox News correspondent, 2020 correspondent, investigative reporter Lawrence Jones. Lawrence, you learned a lot today.
Yeah, what did you learn, Lawrence? We're going to find out what you learned today. And why are you still standing up there at 9 p.m. at night? What have you been doing for the last 6 hours? I left at 3 o'clock, 3:30. I was gone, man. I was fucking back on the bike rolling down the street. I was eating. I was already downtown already. Why are you still up there at 9 o'clock? What, are you looking to see something? You didn't see anything. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to see. You clown.
Yeah, good evening, Sean. As you know, we have been covering American cities in crisis, and these cities happen to be run by Democratic mayors. And New York City isn't any different. Residents are furious about individuals openly shooting up drugs with needles, and they place the blame squarely with their mayor, Bill de Blasio. Take a look. So how long have they been around here?
So what is he actually showing us? What is he showing us? He's showing the cap. What is he showing us? A piece of paper and some change? He's showing us 11 cents in the planter. That's all you found. You found 11 cents
with their mayor, Bill de Blasio,
and a piece of paper.
Take a look.
And a cap, an orange cap. Those are the caps from the syringes. Okay, you see them littered around. They used to see crack vials all over the place, but now you see these occasionally. You don't see them all over the place. So what?
So how long have they
So what? A piece of orange plastic is on the floor. For shame. For shame.
been around here?
3 months they've been here. Since the shutdown, they've been here every single day.
And they just shoot up in the open.
Shoot up, and if we smoke a cigarette?
Bill West, MC, did you see any of these people? No, I didn't see this guy. I will, the only guy I saw was the fat guy that was in my videos. All I saw was I don't recognize this guy, so the answer is no, I don't recognize him.
30 people attack us.
What do the leaders do as a result of this?
Nobody, nothing.
And you say it's not that bad because you come from San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, by comparison, it's I don't even see it anymore because I'm kind of.
There's a lot of editing too, a lot of chop. Watch how they chop out what people are saying.
Kind of numb to the whole thing, seeing people shooting up.
What do you think about New York being compared to San Francisco and Skid Row?
It's getting there.
It's getting there?
Absolutely.
What do you
So that I got to agree with him there. All right, so Large Black gets a point there that it's getting there. It's starting to happen, but you got to get the story right. You got to get the areas right. You got to get the motivation behind why you're saying it. What are you actually seeing? Stop making shit up, right? There is a rise. Yes, there is. There is a more drug users out on the street, visible. Yes, there's more. I see drug sales. I'm not going to film that because that's just, I don't know, that's just in poor taste, right? To go film drug dealers. That's fucking, it's also dangerous. What do I care? Why do I give a shit what somebody else decides to sell and buy? It's none of my business. It doesn't affect me or the greater good. So what do I care? I don't care about that. I care if someone starts chasing somebody else with an open syringe or I mean, even someone taking a shit on the street doesn't really bother me. I think it's funny. I'll take a picture of that.
Blame for all of this.
The mayor?
The mayor, de Blasio?
Yes.
He's responsible.
Absolutely.
Have y'all ever seen New York City?
No, never, ever, never.
Now, Sean, if only that was bad enough, we saw the caps of the needles everywhere. They decided to clean it up today after the New York Post report, but now they're...
Wait a second. Large Negro says that they decided to clean it up. Right? They cleaned it up today because the Post put an article out. What bullshit, right? Again, junkies take a day off. Junkies take a day off. You're a fucking bullshit artist, man. That was bullshit.
Putting homeless individuals in 4-star hotels. But the only thing is, they didn't tell the residents that are...
What does that have to do with 40th Street and the area that you're standing in? What does it have to do with that? It has nothing to do with it. This is the Upper East Side. They're apples and oranges. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They're mixing the fucking story up. Right?
currently staying in those communities. They aren't happy. Take a look. They moved the homeless population, some of the homeless population across the street here. Are you concerned?
I'm a bit concerned, especially as a woman at night, because I work at night and I come home late. And just during the day, I just saw one guy help another totally out of it guy across the street. He must have been drugged.
The whole dynamics of the community have changed.
Do you support them doing this in your community?
Not really.
Do you believe that the mayor made
See, that's not the right way to ask the question. The lady said the dynamics of the city have changed. Yes, they have changed. Do you support it? Like now Large Negro is trying to blame somebody. And who is he trying to blame? Blame de Blasio, who's connected to voting for Biden. That's the motive. Right? There's probably a greater motive. I'm still not sure it's not a real estate grab in that area. Because if you say that the area is full of drug users and shit and piss and it's dangerous, and a property there is for sale, the value of that property could be millions of dollars less. That's what I think. That's what I think is working behind the scenes. I'm sorry for interrupting again.
Bad move by doing this?
Absolutely.
It's being done because they're trying to get them out of congregate settings where the COVID thing can spread. I mean, you have to put them somewhere. You have to put them with individual rooms. And I think if it's very well coordinated and supervised, it can work.
I've been living here since the early 80s, and I've seen so many drug deals go down.
Right.
First of all, the hotels are empty. The hotels are empty because of the stupidity of the politicians. So why not give the room a luxury hotel to a homeless person? Right? Maybe it's the last time they'll have a home. It might be the last home they ever have. Is that such a terrible thing? Why not report it and say that what a wonderful thing the city is doing for the homeless. They're actually, because the hotels are empty, they're actually, rather than leave the hotel empty, they're actually filling it with the lowest people on the food chain, the people most in need. Isn't that a better way to tell the story? Why do we have to say, oh, they're getting a 4-star hotel and you're living in squalor? So they're destroying your neighborhood by living in a 4-star hotel.
I don't want those days to come back.
Sean, as you can see in the video, these local businesses had to hire private security to protect their patrons from the homeless people that are strung out on drugs. Now, the people wanted to...
That right there is not drug paraphernalia, first of all. There is a cap, but what's this plastic thing? That's not a needle. That's just a piece of fucking plastic. He doesn't even know what he's looking for. He doesn't even know what he's looking at. It's not a needle. That is not a syringe.
Make it very clear, there are not
You see caps all over the place. So what?
anti-getting homeless help. They wanted to be consulted, and is the 4-star hotel really the place to put them?
Why? I wonder why they don't raise the camera up to see where we are. Where are we? Where are we? Your cameraman was right there. Where is this? Where you saw the caps? We don't even know.
Back to you, Sean.
And you saw people literally shooting up. By the way, we're not talking about what we know.
You saw people literally shooting up, and he skates over it, and the guy's going like this. Where? Where did you see people actually shooting up? You're going to tell me that somebody is shooting up on the street, and you got your cameraman there. The guy's getting paid $600 to stand there with a camera, and you're telling me that you saw someone shooting up and you didn't get that shot? Is that what you're telling me, large black man? Is that what you are telling us, Hannity? You fucking liars. You're telling me that... Let's watch it again.
You saw people literally shooting up. By the way, we're not talking about...
And he's nodding. Yeah, I saw people shooting up. I saw Hannity. How much am I getting paid for this shit? How much am I getting paid for this shit, man? I say anything, man. Yep, I saw people shooting up. But where's the evidence? Where's the camera? I didn't see anybody shooting up. I didn't see it. And even if I did, you bet your ass I would have a video of that. I would have the fucking camera out in a minute, in a fucking heartbeat. I'd have that out to say, oh yeah, there is that going on here, right? And is there? But the point is that fucking guy, Mr. Lawrence, did not see anybody shooting up on the street. He is a fucking liar.
What we know to be, say, more crime-ridden areas in New York. We're talking about Midtown, the quote expensive Upper East Side of New York.
The expensive Upper East Side of New York, right? Well, that's where the billionaires are. There's more billionaires on the Upper East Side. There's Billionaire Row. I'm writing a song about that. Billionaire Row on 56th Street. Or it's 57th. 57th Street is Billionaire Row. Billionaire, all the buildings over there. There's all these fucking crazy high-rise buildings that overlook Central Park on as far as 59th Street is Billionaire Row, but Upper East Side houses more billionaires than I think anywhere in the world in like a 20-block radius. That's where Epstein lives. Epstein lives in the Upper East Side in the 70s, and I haven't gone up there. I mean, there's junkies in Central Park, but I haven't seen them littering the Upper East Side. That's total bullshit.
Yeah, we're talking about the expensive side, Sean, and we not only saw them shooting it up, but we also saw them prepping their drugs right in this area as well.
Total fucking liar. Total fucking liar.
Of course, when I talk to residents and say, why aren't the police enforcing the laws that are on the book? They blame the mayor for the defund the police methods that he had, disbanding the anti-crime unit, saying that they feel like the officers that they used to see on a day-to-day basis feel like their hands are tied and they don't want to lose their jobs or their livelihood.
And didn't you also see people, I've seen pictures of defecation, not unlike what you saw in San Francisco, people urinating, defecating in the streets?
Yeah, we saw that, Sean. We actually...
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw somebody take a shit. I saw somebody take a piss in the shit. Where? Where's the shit? Where's the piss? Someone takes a shit in the street and you don't film it? Are you kidding me? I mean, I can't really recall anybody watching someone take a shit. I've seen it before, right? And you always see the shit. People taking a shit is sneaky, right? It's sneaky shit. But he's lying. This guy's lying.
I talked to one person that's now a New York resident that used to be in San Francisco, and he said he almost feels numb to it.
He says San Francisco.
Because he's already experienced this before.
All right, Lawrence Jones, great reporting as always.
Yeah, great reporting, you fucking liars, jerk-offs. So Mark's Conte reporting. I have more, but not on this subject. So I guess I'll talk about it. Let's continue. We're already at an hour, so this will be a long one. How we doing, man? Is there any people here? Is anybody watching? Is there anybody out there? Oh, we get some people watching, man. So let's continue. Let us continue, and we'll talk about we'll talk about the antitrust, what I know about the antitrust stuff. And Congress is pressuring the 4 large tech companies to move to trying to enforce antitrust law. Antitrust law is designed to break up monopolies, to prevent individual corporations from gaining too much strength. Unhealthy competition, where rather than where I take you, for example, on YouTube, right? I have unhealthy competition with people like Fox who get to pass. If I told a fake story like that, they'd take me and drag me. They'd shut my account down, right? They delete me from the web, right? But Fox can do it, and the New York Times can do it, and the New York Post can do it, right? Because they sponsor, they pay, right? And all those channels are monetized. Hannity is monetized. He just put out a fake story, and Hannity is monetized on YouTube. Right? That's unhealthy competition. That's what YouTube does. ABC, right? So let's watch Amazon compared to heroin dealer, and a lot of heroin references lately. What's that all about, right? What's that all about? So watch this video. Amazon compared to heroin dealer and Facebook blasted for neutralizing rivals as CEOs roasted. Watch.
We've heard from third-party sellers again and again during the course of the investigation that Amazon is the only game in town. Here's how the apparel company described working with Amazon, and I quote, "Amazon strings you along for a while because it feels so good to get that paycheck every week. And in the past, for lack of a better term, we called it Amazon heroin. Because you just kept going, and you had to get your next fix, your next check. But at the end of the day, you find out that this person who was seemingly benefiting you, making you feel good, was just ultimately going to be your downfall."
Wow, that's Amazon, right? So if you sell on Amazon, what Amazon does is it observes what you're selling and how you're selling it, and encourages you to do it until they figure it out, and then they cut you out of the equation. That's oligarchy. That's monopoly. That's where small business can't compete. For example, let's just promote COVID-19 and shut down retail so that all the money goes in Jeff Bezos' pocket for people ordering online. It's very deceptive, right? It's a very deceptive practice, right?
End quote. So, Mr. Bezos, this is one of your partners.
Right, because what they do is, again, they do it online. They do it to independent reporting. If you independently report a story, they shut you down, demonetize you, shadow ban you, block you, so that story doesn't get out. And then they promote the fake stories that promote their agenda. Right, that's how it works in media. But this guy's doing it. They find retailers all over the country that have a product and such, and then they find out how it is they sell and what they're selling, and then ultimately cut them out of the whole thing and sell the very product that they were selling. Right? That is fucked up. That is really fucked up. That's like you have a restaurant, a shitty restaurant, and there's really good restaurants all around you, and then you find out what the really good restaurants do, and then you get some clown to go there and take a shit in front of the steps, or shoot some heroin right in front of the steps, right? And let the homeless people sleep by the good restaurants, and then come over to our house where we don't have that problem. Right? It's unhealthy competition.
Why on earth would they compare your company to a drug dealer?
Sir, I have great respect for you in this committee, but I completely disagree with that characterization. What we have done is create in the store a place. If you go back in time, we sold only our own inventory. It was a very controversial decision inside the company to invite third-party sellers to come into what is really our most valuable retail real estate, our product detail pages. We did that because we were convinced that it would be better for the consumer. It would be better for the customer to have all of that selection. And I think you're right, and I think it's worked out well.
Reclaiming my time. Unfortunately, this is one of reclaiming my time, Mr. Bezos. Shouldn't third parties know for sure that data isn't being shared with your own line, their competitors? Why should a third party seller list their product on Amazon if they're just going to be undercut by Amazon own product as a result of data you take from them?
Right.
Sir, I think what I want you to understand, and I think is important to understand, is that we have a policy against using individual seller data to compete with our private label products.
You couldn't assure Ms. Jayapal that
Total bullshit, right? So again, that's the precise scenario where they support third-party resellers and then figure out what they're doing, and then they ultimately smear them and drive them off of the platform.
policy isn't violated routinely.
Well, we are investigating that, and I do not want to sit here, and I do not want to go beyond what I know right now. But we are, as a result of that Wall Street Journal article, we are looking at that very carefully,
Thank you,
and we
Mr.
want to
Bezos.
get those facts, and
The
it will
evidence
surely share them with you.
Unquote. Now, Mr. Zuckerberg.
This guy's still alive. This is Jerry Nadler or Jerry Nadler. Forgot his name.
What did you mean when you described Instagram as a threat, as disruptive? And when you said that Instagram could meaningfully hurt Facebook, did you mean that consumers might switch from Facebook to Instagram? You told Facebook's chief financial officer that you were interested in buying Instagram. He asked you whether the purpose of the deal was to neutralize a potential competitor or to integrate their products with ours in order to improve our services. You answered that it was a combination of both, saying what we're really buying is time. Even if some new competitors springs up, those products won't get much traction since we'll already have their mechanics deployed at scale. Mr. Zuckerberg, what did you mean when you answered that the purpose of the deal was to neutralize a potential competitor?
Duh, right? So listen, we tend to not like the senators that are speaking, but in this respect, Nadler is very, very poignant and very on point, saying that this cocksucker right here, Facebook guy, bought out Instagram or took over Instagram because they didn't want to compete with them. So they make their life miserable. It's a hostile takeover. They take over Instagram. They make them miserable. They see them as a threat. So instead of running them into the ground like they should, they buy them. They buy them up. They pay them off. That's monopoly. That's why you got to break up these large companies, because there is no more healthy competition. You think, people think it's a free country. You can't compete against millions and millions and $1 billion or $1 trillion. You cannot compete. They will fuck you. In the end, they will fuck you.
I've been clear that Instagram was a competitor in the space of mobile photo sharing. There were a lot of others at the time. By having them join us, they certainly went from being a competitor in the space of being a mobile camera to an app that we could help grow.
Right. So you bought Instagram because you made them so weak that they couldn't survive, and then you took over. Right. That's what you're doing.
And help get more people to be able to use and be on our team. And I think that's been wildly successful.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Zuckerberg, mergers and acquisitions that buy off potential competitive threats violate the antitrust laws. In your own words, you purchased Instagram to neutralize a competitive threat. If this was an illegal merger at the time of the transaction, why shouldn't Instagram now be broken off into a separate company?
Right there. It's an illegal merger. Illegal merger. That's what antitrust is all about. Now, is any of this having any effect? How would you know if it has any effect? How would you know?
Today we had the opportunity to hear.
Let's listen more. But how would you know if any of this has any effect on the real world, on the real economy, right? Because that's what it's supposed to do. If there was a threat that you were going to break up Facebook and Amazon and all this shit, right? Where would you look for the effect? You would look into the stock market to find the answers. And that's what we'll do in a second. But let's listen to this guy Spoo a little more.
From the decision makers at 4 of the most powerful companies in the world. This hearing has made one fact clear to me. These companies as they exist today have monopoly power. Some need to be broken up, all need to be properly regulated and held accountable. We need to ensure the antitrust laws first written more than a century ago work in the digital age. When these laws were written, the monopolists were men named Rockefeller and Carnegie. Their control of the marketplace allowed them to do whatever it took to crush independent businesses and expand their own power. Well, the names have changed, but the story is the same. Today, the men are named Zuckerberg, Cook, Pichai, and Bezos. Once again, their control of the marketplace allows them to do whatever it takes to crush independent business and expand their own power. This must end. This
Bravo.
subcommittee will next publish a report on the findings of our investigation. We will propose solutions to the problems before us. As a great American Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis once said, we must make our choice. We may have democracy, or we may have wealth concentrated in the hands of a few, but we can't have both.
He just took that whole thing standing there, man. Bezos is like, what? What? I got $138 billion. Fuck you, man. You're going to tell me what to do? You're a punk. That's what he's thinking, right? It's like, oh, I'll sit here and talk. So is it having any effect? Wall Street shrugged as big tech CEOs face Congress. Here's why. As members of House Judiciary Committee fired poignant questions at the CEOs of the four world's biggest technology companies Wednesday, investors emitted a collective yawn and bid up shares of each stock. Bid up shares of each stock. Which ones? Apple, AAPL. Tim Cook's of Google. They added an L to Google. Googl is the symbol. Sundar Pichai. Amazon's Jeff Bezos and Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg faced more than 5 hours of aggressive questioning from members of the House Judiciary Committee. Right? It had no effect. It had absolutely no fucking effect. The other thing I'll say about this is that, for example, if you think big tech is corrupt and the way they manipulate the consciousness, manipulate the public discourse, think about how major financial companies like Goldman Sachs or Chase or Citigroup or HSBC or Wells Fargo, how they manipulate the financial sphere, right? It's far more insidious and far more dangerous, right? Because, for example, on Wall Street, if Congress, the impotent Congress, makes a rule, because now they're gonna provide a report, and there's going to be action taken on antitrust. Just as they do it, Facebook will take $1 billion if necessary. Goldman Sachs does it all the time. They'll take $1 billion. They'll get a whole room full of lawyers, right? Pay for a whole floor of the whole building full of fucking lawyers, and unwind the law that was just passed. That's what they do. That's why Wall Street's called the smartest guys in the room. One of the reasons is that you're not going to beat Goldman Sachs at their own game. You'll make a law, and then they'll give you they operate right on the edge of that law, right on the edge, and nothing that they do is ever illegal. That's what's important about Goldman Sachs. What they do is, on paper, they won't do it unless they can put their finger on the law that says this is okay to do, even though it's buried in thousands of pages. So that's what I'm trying to say is, in a nutshell, is that these congressional hearings do diddly. You know what works? The Occupy City Hall kids outside smashing windows and dragging shit down, right? That's what works. The rise of the youth. Now, I don't agree, and I'm sure a lot of people don't agree with the exact way that Occupy City Hall and the Black Lives Matter Antifa movements are moving. But I would say that they are far more powerful and far more influential than a bunch of idiot pay-for-play Congress people who, in the end of the day, are going to be paid off anyway. That's all I really want to say about that. Heads of Amazon. What else are they saying? As Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple, empires of the online economy that stifle competition and hurt consumers. Do they? Not surprisingly, the tech giants told Congress, absolutely not. So I'll end it there because I'm out of breath right now. So Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you everybody for joining me. And so we learned a lot, man. So hey, listen, man, New York Post. I cover your articles all the time. I think you guys are very, very good at putting the facts out. But this time you really, really dropped the ball. And you see how Hannity's a dick smoker. He's a for sale. He's a cubicle guy. He never leaves the office. He never gets out into the real world. He can't because his face. The people will come up to him. Oh, it's Hannity. You sided with these guys when you put out a fake story like that. You see how Hannity and Fox jump on the fucking story, right? You totally misrepresented the city. What's wrong with getting the story right? What's wrong with telling the truth about what areas we're seeing crime and what you're calling, this menace, this creating a hellhole, creating a fucking hellhole, right? Where, you know what I'm saying? Why don't just get the story right, man? Just get the story right. So thank you everybody for sharing. Thank you everybody in the chat for being here. And Mark's Conte reporting. And B is here. Bill West, thank you very much for your comments. Chris Milk in the house. Chris Milk in the house. Eden the Fed. End the Fed. Jason Walsh in the house. What's up, Jason Walsh? Jim Gerard, Lord Rothschild, Me So Hungry, Pat Hacker, The Truth Lady, Vinny DiMartini on the wrench. Thank you, everybody. Everybody thank Vinny DiMartini for his moderation. If you got cut off, man, it's because you're being a dick, right? Vanderloo, Weevil Boy, Willie Dig, and Japanese number argue. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Sorry I went over, man. It's a long show today. Yeah. Piece of love, motherfucker.